It smacks of an enormous complacency.
Well, this smacks of the fact that for years there was underinvestment by the last government and the stripping out and following out of our armed forces.
We've had 18 months
Copyright
to deal
Ben
with that.
Wallace.
Keir Starmer chucks the teddy clean out of the pram here when Bernard Jenkin accuses him of complacency.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. But with the greatest respect about the Defence Investment Plan, the idea that the lack of the plan is not holding anything up is utterly ludicrous.
Bernard Jenkin here says that Starmer's lack of a plan is ludicrous. And why hasn't he got one, basically?
Well, it's my job to resolve it. What I want to do is to make sure that the investment we need is going in and that it's sustained over a 10-year period in accordance with the strategic review. And I want to get that right. What I don't want to do is to set out commitments without being absolutely clear where the money is coming from. Now, of course, we need to take the time to get that right. Of course, it's not easy. There was a lack of investment over many, many years. I think that's palpable, and everybody now accepts that the last government didn't invest anything like enough.
So instead of answering the question, Keir Starmer here goes on to do the old blame game thing. You know, you left a mess, we're tidying it up, and blah, blah, blah. Well, listen to what Bernard Jenkins says to him a little later.
Why is it not on a war footing now?
Because the strategic review commits us to a war footing, and we now need to put the funding in place in order to get there. I've already announced the increase in defence spending to 2.5%, something that didn't happen under the last government.
It sounds as though you are at peace while we are actually at war.
With respect, I'm clearing up the mess that I inherited from the last government. And
I dare say Winston Churchill had a bit of mess to clear up from the previous government. Margaret Thatcher had a bit of mess to clear up from the previous government.
Well, Bernard Jenkin tells him about the Winston Churchill clearing a mess up, Margaret Thatcher clearing a mess up, and by the look of his face here, he certainly didn't see that one coming.
But now we are facing an urgency. Why were we so unready to defend Cyprus?
Well, we've got a lot of defensive capability in Cyprus, as you know, including the air capability.
Stop 150 kilometres per mile an hour drone from getting through to hitting a sovereign base in Cyprus. That means we were unprepared. And the very fact that you immediately wanted to defend a destroyer meant you had failed to anticipate the need to defend Cyprus with a destroyer. It smacks of an enormous complacency.
Well, this smacks of the fact that for years there was underinvestment by the last government and the stripping out and following out of our armed forces.
We've had 18 months
Copyright
to deal
Ben
with that.
Wallace, who was defence
I'm
secretary.
not making a party political point.
Well, honestly,
I agree with Ben
14
Wallace.
years of underinvestment,
I agree with
18
Ben
months for a
Wallace.
Labour government.
But take drones, for example.
We're picking up the underinvestment of your government.
Last one, Mr.
The whole concept of warfighting has changed in the last 12 months.
I understand that.
He says he understands that, but I'm not entirely sure he does.
How many defence reviews do you think took place during the Second World War?
Starmer is asked how many defence reviews were carried out during the Second World War. He says, I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that
Well, the answer is none.
Well,
because when you are at war, you get on with it. You don't wait around for a plan.
Keir Starmer was had over a barrel by Bernard Jenkin here in this select committee. But if you like the video, please leave me a comment and please subscribe to the channel.